Think about it this way. How do you get millions of strangers to cooperate, to follow the same rules, to build empires? You need a really powerful, unifying story, something everyone can buy into.
Okay, I'm starting to see where you're going with this. You're talking about, things like religions, nations, even corporations.
Yeah, exactly.
There's all like large-scale systems of belief that shape our world.
Welcome to Witter. Who Has Time to Read? The podcast that brings deep dives for busy minds. Listen to AI hosts Jane and Dane and get ready to unpack the world's most captivating books in just a fraction of the time. Whether commuting, working out, or just squeezing in a quick break, we deliver key insights, thought-provoking themes, and takeaways you can carry into your day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Plus, use our links in the description to purchase this book. Your support helps us bring more engaging book discussions to you. Listen and follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Who has time to read? You do, with Witter.
Ready to explore the entire history of humankind?
Well, a brief history at least.
Right, of course. We're deep diving into Yuval Noah Harari's Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind.
It's a wild ride.
It is. A book that takes us from, insignificant apes to rulers of the planet.
Yeah, it all starts by shattering our preconceived notions about, just who we think we are. Humans, we weren't always the dominant force.
You're telling me we weren't always top of the food chain? Like what, back then?
Not even close. Harari throws us back to a time when humans, we were just another animal just trying not to get eaten,
Okay.
We were about as impactful as, a jellyfish.
Wow, that's a humbling thought. So what changed? When did we go from jellyfish status to, building rockets and writing symphonies?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. It all comes down to a few key developments, really. Starting with, our brains.
Okay.
Our brains are incredible. They're power-hungry organs. They just gobble up about a quarter of our energy, even when we're just relaxing.
Yeah. Wow, 25% just for, daydreaming. That's a lot.
It is a lot. And our ancestors, they paid a price for those big brains. Weaker muscles. Compared to other apes, we're practically wimps.
Huh. So, while a chimp might not be writing any poetry, they could definitely win in a fist fight, probably.
Precisely. Our ancestors, they traded brawn for brains.
Yeah.
And it's a trade-off, really, that we still live with today.
Fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
So how did our ancestors fuel those massive brains? The answer, surprisingly, might be in your kitchen.
Yeah, that delicious meal you had last night. It's not just fueling your body today. It's part of a legacy, really, that made us human.
Okay.
Cooking, as Harari explains it, was a game changer.
Cooking, it makes food taste better, but I don't see how it's brain food.
Well, think about it. Cooking makes it makes it easier to digest.
Okay.
Shorter intestines mean more energy can be diverted to other tasks, like, powering up those big brains.
So a simple act like cooking actually sparked a cognitive revolution. That's incredible. But we weren't the only humans around back then, were we? What happened to those other human species, like the Neanderthals?
Ah, yeah. One of the most intriguing mysteries, really, in human history. Harari explores a few possibilities: interbreeding, brutal competition, maybe even genocide.
Wow.
It's a question that continues to spark debate to this day, really.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, did sapiens eliminate their rivals?
Mm-hmm.
Or did we maybe, merge with them? Could there be traces of other human species still lurking in our DNA?
Now, that's a question that leads us to another crucial development: our unique ability to communicate.
Okay.
Not just grunts and simple signals, but complex language. And even more importantly, I think, the ability to gossip.
Hold on. Are you saying that our love for a good gossip session is what set us apart? Really?
Absolutely. Think about it. Gossip, it isn't just about spreading rumors.
Yeah.
It's about sharing vital information, who to trust, who to avoid. You see, it's the foundation of cooperation.
Yeah, that makes sense. After all, building trust is essential, whether you're a small tribe or a global society.
Right. Exactly. Gossip allowed sapiens to form larger, more complex social structures than any other human species. And those larger groups, they needed more stable food sources. Which brings us to, I guess you could say, another turning point.
You mean the invention of agriculture?
Exactly.
Let's dive into that. So agriculture, huh?
Yeah.
I feel like we've always been told it was this great thing for humanity, this huge step forward.
Yeah, we often think of agriculture as this, well, this great leap forward, but Harari challenges that assumption.
Really?
Yeah, sure. It brought, food security and all that.
Okay.
But it also brought a whole new set of problems, really.
Really? So you're telling me that farming wasn't all it was cracked up to be? I always, I don't know, just pictured our ancestors settling down and enjoying their bountiful harvests.
Not quite. Just imagine toiling, day in and day out, dependent on a single crop, and then a bad drought hits or a swarm of locusts. Suddenly you're on the brink of starvation.
Okay, yeah, that does not sound so idyllic anymore. I never really thought about the risks involved in early agriculture.
Yeah, and those risks, they led to a pretty fascinating development, I think. The rise of what Harari calls imagined realities.
Imagined realities.
Yeah.
That sounds a little, I don't know, more like a sci-fi concept than actual history.
It might sound a little strange, but think about it this way. How do you get millions of strangers to cooperate, to follow the same rules, to build empires? You need a really powerful, unifying story, something everyone can buy into. Yeah.
Okay, I'm starting to see where you're going with this. You're talking about things like religions, nations, even corporations.
Yeah, exactly.
There's all like large-scale systems of belief that shape our world.
Exactly. These imagined realities, these, as Harari calls them, are the invisible scaffolding that kind of hold human societies together.
Okay, I get it.
Take money, for example.
Money. You're saying money is an imagined reality.
Well, think about it. It's just pieces of paper or metal, right? But we've collectively imbued them with value, that shared belief, that imagined reality. Well, that's what allows us to, trade, build economies, even wage wars.
That's true. I've never thought about it like that before. Money only works because we all agree it does. But these imagined realities aren't always, I don't know, harmless, are they?
Unfortunately, no, they're not. Harari shows how they can be used to justify, things like discrimination and inequality. He uses the example of, ancient beliefs about pollution to illustrate this.
Pollution? You mean like environmental pollution? I'm not sure I'm following.
No, not quite. Harari he's referring to the idea that contact with certain groups of people based on, I don't know, things like caste, religion, ethnicity, could somehow pollute those deemed, superior.
Okay, I see what you mean. So it's not about like actual physical contamination, but about like social hierarchies and the fear of impurity.
And precisely. And this fear of pollution, this imagined threat, it was used to justify all sorts of discrimination, really. It's a disturbing pattern that unfortunately we still see echoes of today even. Yeah,
that's a chilling thought. It makes you wonder like how these imagined realities, these systems of belief, how they've really shaped the course of human history. And speaking of which, we got to talk about writing, right? Like Harari talks about how that invention just completely changed the game.
Imagine the shift, right? From oral histories, stories passed down through generations to this suddenly permanent, verifiable record of information.
Yeah, that's huge. It's like the difference between, I don't know, a whisper and a megaphone almost.
Exactly. Writing, which initially emerged as a way to just, keep track of resources, those tax records again,
right,
became a tool of empire.
Wow.
It allowed rulers to project their power across, vast distances and over really, really long periods.
So we've gone from like gossip sessions around the fire to empires, held together by these shared stories. All thanks to the power of writing.
Yeah.
It makes you realize just how much our world is shaped by these seemingly simple inventions,
Absolutely. And Harari, he takes us even further, exploring how these interconnected systems, trade routes, empires, even religions, how they gradually brought humanity closer together, closer than we ever were before, I think.
You mean like the rise of globalization? That's a pretty recent development though, right?
Relatively speaking, yeah, it is. Harari, he emphasizes just how many distinct human worlds existed just 10,000 years ago compared to today. It's unbelievable. Today we're increasingly interconnected, facing the challenges and opportunities of a globalized world.
It makes you wonder though, is this interconnectedness ultimately a good thing or a bad thing for us? For humanity, That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? But there's no doubt that it's really shaped the course of human history, that's for sure.
Yeah. And speaking of shaping history, we can't forget about the scientific revolution.
Oh, right.
What a turning point that was, huh?
Absolutely. Harari, he really dives into how how revolutionary it was for people to finally admit that they didn't have all the answers.
Yeah.
You know, like that shift in mindset from assuming we knew everything to embracing the unknown. Like it's fascinating to me.
Yeah, it challenged like centuries of dogma. Suddenly it wasn't about, blindly accepting ancient wisdom. You know what I mean? It was about questioning, experimenting, and let's be honest, a healthy dose of ambition that played a role too, I think.
You're right. Think about those early explorers setting sail into like uncharted waters, driven by curiosity and the desire to map the world. I mean, they were taking a huge gamble, all based on the belief that there was something new out there to discover.
Exactly. And that spirit of exploration, that willingness to kind of, embrace uncertainty, it led to incredible breakthroughs. I mean, Harari even points out the importance of probability in modern science. It's not just about seeking these absolute truths anymore. It's about understanding, possibilities, weighing risks, making the most informed decisions we can given what we know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that famous saying, the only constant is change.
Right.
We're always learning, adapting, and hopefully progressing as we do. But that brings up another question, I think, Does progress always equal happiness? I mean, is that what it's all about?
Like, that's the real question, isn't it? Harari challenges us to consider like what truly matters. We've achieved such incredible things as a species, but are we any happier, or have we simply traded one set of problems for another?
It's a question that's been pondered by philosophers for centuries, and it leads us to another, I think, fascinating and somewhat unsettling concept from the book, the Gilgamesh Project.
Ah, yes. Humanity's, age-old obsession with overcoming death, right? I mean, we've made such incredible strides in medicine and technology, pushing the boundaries of the human lifespan further than ever before, I think. But can we truly cheat death? And should we even try?
It's a question with huge ethical implications, really. If you could extend your life indefinitely, would you want to? At what cost?
It's a question worth pondering, for sure. And it speaks to I think a fundamental truth about the human condition, our constant, striving for something more, our desire to transcend our limitations.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Sapiens, what's the biggest takeaway for you? What can we learn from this epic journey through human history that we just went on?
I think the most important lesson, to me anyway, is that we're not just products of our genes, our biology, but we're also products of our stories, the stories we tell ourselves, the beliefs, the values, the narratives we share. I mean, they shape our world, and they do it in some really profound ways, I think. From
the myths that held early societies together to the scientific principles driving modern innovation. It's clear that our capacity for storytelling, this is what truly makes us human. Don't you think?
Yeah, and those stories, well, they're still being written. I mean, the future of humanity, it's yet to be determined, and we all have a role to play in shaping the next chapter.
So to our listeners out there, what kind of story will you tell with your life? What kind of future will you help create? That's something for all of us to ponder.